Beautiful Scorpio family, hello and welcome to your November 2024 tarot forecast. I'm Ms. Eden, and Scorpio family, first off, happy birthday. It's birthday season for my Scorpios. So how are y'all ringing in the birthday season? How are y'all celebrating wonderful Scorpio? Leave it in the comments. I would love to hear what kind of birthday celebrations are going on for my Scorpios this year. This is going to be a general reading for Scorpio, sun, moon, and rising sign, but know that it's not just limited there, y'all. Any place that you have Scorpio really heavy in your chart, you can find messages I'm certain that will resonate with you and take away some meanings, deeper meanings and things that will hopefully bring some wisdom and guidance into your day. So thank you all so much for all your support, all your love, Scorpio family, all the comments, likes, shares, subscriptions. I deeply appreciate it. And really the best way that you can support this channel, that you can support my work, the easiest way, the most cost-efficient way, because it's free, is to interact with this video. Like it, throw some comments my way, because I love hearing from the family. Subscribe, certainly, if you aren't subscribed already and you're feeling like you vibe with these messages and you're enjoying what you're hearing and seeing, go ahead and subscribe, y'all. That all helps with the algorithm and helps support my work. So I deeply appreciate it. And again, like, all that help really does do wonders, more than you think or know, all right, especially when we're dealing with these algorithms. So thank y'all again. It means the world. Like, all the comments, all the likes, all the new subscribers, all the new Scorpio family, welcome. I'm so happy that all of y'all are here, and it just makes my heart really, really big, y'all, full. So yeah, if y'all, last plug before we get into it, beautiful Scorpio family, if y'all like what you're seeing over here, I do have one other social media account. That's my Instagram, and you can find that link in my bio. Head on over there for all sorts of things that don't always get posted here to my YouTube. All right, fam. Beautiful Scorpio, don't sweat it if you don't catch this video right after I post it. Know that whenever you feel that urge, that right timing, that tingle to sit down and watch or listen, that's the right time for you to receive this message. And I do hope, beautiful Scorpio family, that there'll be something in this message for you. All right, loves? Let's get into it. I'm going to try a few new things for this monthly forecast. So those of you that have been rocking with me for a while are going to notice a different flow this month. I wanted to start with pulling a card from an oracle deck that I have many oracle decks, so I just kind of zoomed into one of them. This month it was my Animal Apothecary deck for my Scorpio family. That's by Kara Elizabeth. I love this deck. It's a great deck, and I've been thinking about putting up some deck review videos. So let me know in the comments if you would be interested in seeing a little bit of a deep dive into some of these oracle decks and tarot decks that I use. Maybe you've been curious about getting some of these decks and you've kind of wanted to check them out, before you buy. So let me know if that would be something that you'd like to see also on this channel. I also spent a moment to tap in, not just with the Animal Oracle, the Animal Apothecary cards, but also I wanted to, in the effort of honing this intuitive sense, this intuitive power that really we all have, right? It's just about strengthening that intuitive muscle again, which many of us, might be in a weakened state for a lot of us. So certainly for me, I'm trying to strengthen that muscle, that knowledge. And so I wanted to spend a little bit of time in meditation before coming on to record this, and tapping into Scorpio's energy for the month of November and what's important for Scorpio to know. So along with our astrology check-in, with our reading, we're going to do that as well. All right, y'all. First, let's get to the astrology notes of this month. The first half of November, the themes are going to be about going deep within the self in order to transform this way of operating, Scorpio, from an ego-driven self into a spiritually driven self, more connecting from that limited ego framework of taking in life around us into this higher knowing, higher frequency connection with the higher self. So that's going to be kind of the first part of the month has going to be rife with those influences astrologically. The second half of November is where we're going to see more movement. And it's not that we're going to see plenty of movement in the first half of November as well, but where we might see more movement internally, the opportunity for more internal movement the first half of November. The second half of November will be a lot of external movement where we see more truths coming to light. That has been echoed through the last couple of monthly forecast videos that I've been giving out, is again this shifting of cycles and changing of power structures away from ego one, of the number one is what I mean, the self, that which is all about control and power, for I will say not necessarily the most positive of reasons, right? Because this can be about trying to control and consolidate power for oneself. So there's going to be a lot of reflection time for that. Whereas the second half of November, again, that light is now shining on those truths of where is the power imbalanced. We're going to have a lot of shifts starting to push forward with where we're having our power come from. And we're moving away from top-down power structures. And we're moving towards power to the many, power to the people. So it's a huge paradigm shift that we're in the midst of at this moment. Really kind of like the beginning of the energy pickup. Because again, these mass changes, these paradigm shifts, when I do this, I'm like, it takes a while. It's like it's a long, what for our physical 3D selves and on our timelines it feels long, but really on the cosmic scale of time, right, these things are happening on a lot faster kind of scale. So those are the themes we're moving into this month with. And on the 1st of November we have a new moon in Scorpio. So happy birthday, Scorpio. New moon's all about new opportunities to dive deep. And with Scorpio, this is about diving deep within to transform that darkness on the inside into light. Become the phoenix, become the eagle, rise from the ashes, from the fire, right? Yeah. So what new beginnings, what can we transform? What barriers can we break down and work through on this internal work, this internal path that we've been trudging along with? I know many of us, we've felt the call to go internal and deal with, finally put aside all that outer world chatter, that 3D kind of chatter from all our demands of the waking life. And we're really, a lot of us are feeling that pull. If we're not acting on that pull, we are feeling it for sure of like inward stuff. I got to go inward, right? There's things coming up for a lot of us that need to be released. On the 2nd of of November, we have Mercury moving into the planet of Sagittarius, a fire sign. All right, so Mercury, all about our thought processes, our innovation, our patterns of thinking, our communication, our technology. Sagittarius, again, a very creative, fiery sign that just, creates through harnessing and wielding their energy is a really good way to talk about Sagittarius. It's a very high energy, creative force, right? So we have it in the sign of moving into the sign of Mercury on the 2nd. So expect to get a lot of fire behind what you say, what ideas come up, what maybe even have to do with our technology and advancement. We'll see a lot more rapid development in those areas coming out the beginning of November. Then on the 3rd of November, Mars moves into Leo, another fire sign. And Mars is all about aggression, warlike aggression, and the ego self, because it governs Aries. So as it moves into Leo, a fire sign, also about the sun, the self, ego, is it going to be a spicy time for us dealing with that ego self, which is really on its way out, because isn't like the ego, it's kind of that limiting perspective, that limiting way that keeps us from, how shall I say it? The ego is like, I don't even want to say it's like a protective mechanism, but it's like that devil card energy that like holds you down, holds you back from really that next level of advancement, because it doesn't want to move beyond the power of the 3D around the reality around us, right? It doesn't want to look at what's beyond the veil, the ego, because it might show it might require actually some intense reflection to even be able to look beyond the veil. And then once you're there, you're going to be learning more, right? It's about shedding and being vulnerable in these states of growing and learning. And Mars and Leo, I don't know how vulnerable they'll want to be, because it's all about like armored up, wartime, aggression, fast moving, creative energy, right? Very creative, fiery energy. But again, we got to be mindful about how we harness it, and are we using it for furthering our own selves only, and especially at the expense of others, or are we looking to birth new creations into the world with a lot of force behind it, that are stemmed from love, compassion, fire, inspiration, right? On the 11th of November, Venus moves into Capricorn. So there we have a little bit of an earth energy coming into the planet of love, of tactile pleasures, right? Venusian pleasures. So that's going to feel very kind of at home in Capricorn, which is also about like earth sign, material resources and pleasures, but very much about a power dynamic too. So be very mindful about power dynamics. Again, this whole month, Scorpio power, right? The Scorpio season. There's a lot of other little intricate things happening astrologically that's talking about power for us. On the 15th of the month, Saturn turns direct in the sign of Pisces. This will be at the final degree of Pisces. So again, that emphasis, it's like a full moon energy of like culminations, wrap-ups of cycles. What do we need to make sure we have learned very soundly before we step onto a new path? And with Saturn, that is like a ultimate disciplinarian taskmaster, right? So where do we need to get really serious about our spiritual development? Again, that's going to be a very big emphasis as we wrap up the year. With that 29 degrees of Pisces in Saturn. Then the same day we have our full moon in Taurus, earth sign. All right, so wrap-ups, culminations, again, earth sign, fixed energy with Taurus energy, with Taurus. So again, about like tapping into our physical resources. Money is a big thing. Anything with currency can be coming up at that time. Again, a new shift, because we do have that Mercury in Sagittarius, remember, coming in earlier. So we might see a shifting in how we're thinking about currencies coming around that time, and our physical resources. This full moon in Taurus might also highlight things having to do with our planet Earth, agriculture, how we grow food. And with this Saturn direct in Pisces, again, we might see things happening on this planet Earth having to do with water, with Pisces energy there. On the 19th, we're not even done yet. Pluto moves into Aquarius. This is a huge deal. Pluto changes signs not too frequently. Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. And it is now changing signs this coming month on the 19th of November into the first degree of Aquarius, an air sign. Power to the people. That's that power shift that I'm talking about. And this is huge, y'all. It's huge, but it's also the first little baby step as I'm learning more and more about astrology, about cycles and symbols and just all this beautiful, deep, esoteric, fun, juicy stuff. Pluto moving into Aquarius is a huge deal for us collectively right now and will be felt for a while during this cycle, because Pluto will be in Aquarius until 2044. All right. So again, a complete shift of power away from that power in Pluto and Capricorn energy. All right, fam. This is moving us into power for the people, a balanced justice system and justice for all, how we lay out the justice and truth. Humanitarian is also a word connected with Aquarius, so that's going to be the whole energy and vibe of where we're moving, right? And we can see that a lot happening around the world when natural disasters are coming up and the way that people are rallying together. That is Pluto and Aquarius energy. That's it. Sagittarius season begins on the 21st, y'all, and then we have Mercury going into retrograde on the 25th of November, and it will be retrograde through December 15th. So this will be a time where, again, we can pause. With all this crazy energy happening around us, it'll be a great excuse to pause and receive more inspiration and energy and insights for new creations in this slowdown. Because we're going to have a little bit of bumpiness with travel, technology. Be wary of any contracts or deals that you make during this time. You'll probably have to come back and redo it later. Proofread and edit your work. Think twice before you click send. All Mercury and retrograde themes. All right, fam? And with this month of November, the 11th month, it's again a reminder of this moving from ego self to we go. Like we, right? I to we. So with 1 plus 1, right, of 11, the month of November, equals 2. So moving from that 1 energy to 2, combining the ego self, learning what we need to move into more of a feminine energy, a compassionate, heart-centered energy. Oof, big shifts coming. I always say this and I don't get to it, but I need to do a longer astrology video for November. So let's keep it moving, because I know that took a minute, and I appreciate you, Scorpio, rocking with me through that. But it's, again, like I always say, it's really important to know what the larger astrological energies and themes are coming into the month. It's not just about what the individual tarot reading says. Draw wisdom from many spaces, many places, right? So starting out this reading from the Animal Apothecary deck, I had the card Get Out of Your Head come up, number 37. So this is all about the chicken head energy. You're over worrying about things that are going to work themselves out in the end, whether you over stress it or not, Scorpio. That's where we're at with this. So that is the general theme for this month, was kind of what I was asking for, messages from our animal spirit guides this month. And so this is the message. This is the theme. Get out of your head. Get out of your head, Scorpio. You've been there too long. And think about, like, again, the gains that you've made, because you have made a lot of gains, thinking back to our previous readings, monthly readings. But you have also, blocked yourself, like all of us might, when we get too in our head and overthinking about it. It literally can stop us in our tracks from making progress in any direction, making movement happen for my Scorpio family. So that's our animal card. Get out of your head. And again, 37 adds up to the number 10, moving into brand new cycles. So yes, it goes down numerologically. You can go 1 plus 0 is back to 1. But again, a new cycle, when it's 10, it's like we're finally graduating from one level to the next this month, Scorpio. You have that potential if you just get out of your head and recognize that whatever issues are happening right now for you are going to work themselves out, regardless of how you're thinking about it. So you might as well meet it with a more positive, constructive energy and feed it that, so that the results are more positive and constructive for you. All right? Because we are creators, in fact. Remember that. The other thing that I picked up when I intuitively tapped into my Scorpio's energy this month, my Scorpio fam, were 2 images. The first was this Libra symbol. So again, balance, truth is going to be very important this month as we work through these ego blocks that have been so encrunched, I shall say, inside of ourselves that we're breaking free from. We're breaking through and able to release, again, a lot of this inner work. So for some of my Scorpio family, it might also be a Libra very much at play this month for y'all. But that Libra energy is at play as well. Balance, truth. And the second thing that I picked up for my Scorpio family was this image of I should say, a temple of the divine goddess or the divine feminine. And it was a beautiful white temple, kind of like what I would imagine. It's what I've heard of like the Crystal Palace, but it wasn't crystal. It was like a white, almost marble, Grecian looking, sitting in a beautiful landscape in kind of a valley with water, a pool in front of it, and these beautiful columns that were shaped as the goddess, the sacred feminine. So truth and balance with our feminine side, with the sacred feminine, with our deep spirituality, high priestess energy for sure, for my Scorpios this month. So, yeah, we might have some more to say on those images as we get into your reading, Scorpio. So let's get into it. All right, so starting out the month, here's your energy. Ace of Pentacles. And this month, I'm switching up my decks. So I'll do a little bit of clarifying because the court cards are slightly different in this deck, and as well as a couple of the major arcana, but we'll cross those bridges when we get there, Scorpio family. Starting off with the Ace of Pentacles, so new resources, brand new opportunities in your physical world around you. You've made some shit happen and materialize, Scorpio family, for yourselves. And this is all connected to this new cycle. Again, there it is. We keep talking new cycles that we're breaking through on. Here's the world. So brand new cycles, and especially endings of old cycles. And in order to end old cycles, Scorpio, you have to wrap up a lot of the internal stuff that has kept you in that old cycle. And I think a lot of you are recognizing that now. So this is about stepping forward with, it's like a second magician, the world. But now instead of just using the ego self, because notice the numbers are 21. 2 and 1. The perfect harmony of both masculine and feminine. So again, you are stepping onto this new path, especially maybe with something with work, with finances, with your resources, culminating an old cycle, and you better be bringing some lessons with you, or else you're going to be right back on an old cycle, right? You got to learn from those cycles. That's how you get to step forward. All right. We also have this energy, this 5 of Wands energy of like competition that's causing a lot of strife, a lot of upset for my Scorpios in their energy. So this could be, you could be competing with others for projects, for work. This could be, with your, whatever you're putting your energy in towards work or your resources. There's some competition around this. But this could also indicate for my Scorpios that the chatter and it could be too many opinions. Too many, and I know this isn't swords, this is wands, but it's like there's too much energy, too many different energy points coming in that's causing confusion. All right, so it's like the new path doesn't start off super smooth for my Scorpios this month. And there's the siren, right? And the new path is not, you recognize that like, ooh, I got some new abundance and stuff, but it's not without, the lightness without the dark. The duality of everything is a really big theme. All right, but then you have this king, and in this deck it's the Knight of Wands. You have this King of Wands energy of being in complete control of your energy, how you are wielding it to create, to bring things from the non-physical realm of just ideas, thoughts, energies, right, into grounding it into reality. This is about knowing how to wield your energy with precision. Absolutely. And it's brought you a lot of fulfillment with this 9 of Cups. You've been feeling, again, like wrapping up this old cycle. You've done good for yourself. You're feeling very emotionally secure. Even so much so, like you could give to others from your emotional cup, right? Got happiness there. Ten of Swords, though. So in this deck, it's ruin. Don't get so scared, Scorpio, by the deck. This deck's kind of intense. But Ten of Swords energy is all about having been through it. It's like you found through the darkness your own happiness. Like you found the ways to fill your own cup. That's so if external things are fucking with your energy, your mental well-being, you got your toolbox ready to go for how to ground yourself again. So a lot of you have done that inner work. But a lot of you have felt the stings, right? With this Ten of Swords energy. This is also a wrapping up of cycles. You're done with the mental anguish. Again, get out of your head. Where is it? This is, swords are all about our minds, our intellects, how we're thinking. Get out of your head, Scorpio. Because you have the inner strength in your energy. You've built up the strength with this 9 of Wands. You know what boundaries you need. You've put good boundaries in place. You're being guided. If you're feeling vulnerable, just tap into the higher self, not the ego self, the higher self. Tap in to spirit. Ask for guidance on how to lay your boundaries, because there will be strength there for you. You can pull all sorts of energy to give you that strength. Remember, you're that King of Wands kind of bitch, right? All right. And this is also about, again, that spiritual journey for y'all this month with the Hierophant card coming up. This is all about the keys of knowledge lay at your feet. So get out of your head so that you can learn. New cycles, new beginnings. We're ignorant a lot of the time to what's laying ahead. You might also find a teacher to help guide you along this new path. This could also be the card about commitments, marriages. But this could be like a sage. You could be this sage, have gained a lot of wisdom that now you can teach others, Scorpio, on your path. Because it's laying right next to that King of Wands energy. They're right next to each other. And again, stepping into that spiritual discipline, understanding and doing your spiritual work is going to keep you moving on that cups path from the 9 of Cups to the 10 of Cups. Like bliss, ultimate fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. Like you've reached the point that you've been striving and working so hard towards, and you can now sit back and like really take it all in. Right? So it's about that inner work, that spiritual development, and lean into people to help you. Okay? The indecision isn't helping anymore. 2 of Swords. Yeah, it might bring you some peace from not having to decide on things and make movement on things right now, especially if you have a lot of that competition and chaotic energy influencing how and what you want to do. But this is all about like being at a standstill and not knowing which direction to go. the waters are too turbulent right now. So you're just like taking yourself out of the fray this month, stepping back, guarding your peace, so that you can continue doing what you need to do on the inside. Can't let any of those external, you understand now with that Five of Wands energy in the world at the beginning, right? That all that outer mess and kerfluffle is not going to give you the peace that you need to do the work to know the next steps. And also to do the work to get out of your head and trust in the universe. And yeah, love could be abounding for a lot of my Scorpios this month. This could be love and fulfillment for what you do, the projects and the things that you've built up for yourself. This could also be love with one other very important person. It could be romantic, but it's usually connected to one other thing, one other person that you've poured a lot of your heart and soul into. This could be divine connections, twin flames. And again, that Hierophant card, marriages, right? So for some of my Scorpio, this could be like, you know, you feel like you found your match. And when I say the match, it's not like you're exactly the same. It's just that you're different, but you fit together beautifully, right? Like there's the complementariness to it. So again, this is just rife with love and fulfillment and happiness. There's this duality this month. A lot of opportunity for emotional fulfillment, especially from those close to you. But there's also this being in your own head too much, wrapping up old cycles, and needing to step back and block people and things out if they're causing too much of this chicken head kind of energy, too much clucking and cluttering up here that doesn't let you think. Because listen, you have new energy abounding on this new cycle, this new path you're on, beautiful Scorpio. New energy is there for you to harness. This could be about again, if you're feeling inspired by like this, new insights, new inspiration, new projects, if you're working on a project or launching a business or something, this could be doing that or taking those next steps that you've been building towards. But totally new, fiery energy coming at you to move. This is movement. So some of y'all might actually be thinking of a move in order to, like, again, you've done the work and it's guiding you of like, yeah, I need a change. I need a move, right? But be very wary, like all these successes, all this beautiful energy that you're having this month, along with some mental turmoil, pace yourself, because we got the Prince of Swords, which is in other decks, the Knight of Swords. So messages could be coming to you, but very much about truth-seeking, intellect, messages, communication, about your future, about something having to do with the future. This could be an individual as well, an air sign, a younger masculine-ish, masculine energy air sign that's affecting the situation. But I'm going too fast. I need to pull back for a second on this card. It also sends a warning for my Scorpios that as you're feeling that fiery energy of this Ace of Wands, that you don't just rush ahead without thinking and planning first. That's where like you're finding the balance of where thinking can be helpful and planning, and then overthinking can be harmful. It's where you're finding the balance. And that Prince of Swords can be like you're rushing ahead too fast with a thought, plan, or idea, where you just need to let it blossom. You need to let it bloom. You need to let that fire build for a bit, especially with like Mercury going retrograde at the end of the month, right? So if you're like thinking about launching around that Mercury retrograde, pause. Give it some more time to plan before you launch it. Because the fear is always there for Seven of Pentacles. This, like, in this deck it says failure, but this is a hard work card. This is where you've been putting in your energy to something and you're afraid that it's not going to pay off, Scorpio. So again, get out of your head. You're worried about the finances, like the long-term stability. Is what I've put my energy, what I've put my heart into, going to be worth it, right? So I know this is a scary, in this deck it's a scary card, but for me it rings of hard work, and you're kind of having to wait and see how that hard work is playing out for you right now, right? And there's some worry there with this Five of Pentacles. You're worried that you're going to be left out in the cold again, or for, again, for maybe some of y'all, or you might be left out in the cold without any help, resources, stability. There's a lot of fear driving this, and that is not a positive energy to be bringing into this space as you are working on clearing a lot of internal blocks. The clearing will bring up a lot of fear, but meeting it with an energy and a frequency of, what can you teach me, instead of, I don't want to meet you at all, and then let's stuff you back down, right? That won't build the new and keep you moving on this path, Scorpio. You got to meet the fear and ask, what do I need to learn from you, right? Final messages for my Scorpio, because these 2 extra cards did fall out, is it's going to be all about your connections with this Three of Pentacles, those that you're working with, your team, in order to, again, make the magic happen in reality, to ground that magic into this new space. So lean on your team, and it is about the choices you make with the Lovers card. So be very diligent and thoughtful, again, about the choices that you're making this month. Don't overthink it. Know that, if you're over worrying, fear is never a good energy to lead with making any decision, because it's not going to lead you on a path that's best for you. That is the ego self. You're going to recognize, Scorpio, this month, I think, is that fear response is the ego self talking. And you're going to see the duality and the choice that you have to make about, do I want to continue down that path with the ego self, or do I want to make magic happen and lean into all this new energy that's coming my way? Because you've already gotten some glimpses. That's why you're on the new path. That's why you've wrapped up old cycles with the world. You've gotten glimpses of what the beauty of stepping into the unknown with bravery and valor. Remember, being maybe scared or fearful, but doing the thing anyway. That's what that means. You recognize how beneficial that can be, and how the universe will provide for you. So lean into your team, lean into your people, and Scorpio fam, I hope you have a beautiful November, beautiful birthday season, and definitely let me know in the comments how this reading hit for you. All right, fam, sending y'all so much love.